So after we pass the dungeon stage on the relic quest, you
What?
get a small cutscene.
Oh, okay.
Well, well. Okay, to turn in this quest, you have to put. So we get our regular equipment, and put the sword and the shield on your inventory so you can turn in the quest. And we go to Azizla. At this point, you can pick the gender of your anima weapon on the quest chain.
What?
Yeah. When they ask you what you heard, you can respond, "Now I heard a woman whispering or a man whispering."
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So it makes the weapon more personal and tailored to your character.
So you have like a boy or a girl weapon.
Yep. Exactly.
Does it change the way it looks?
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there we go. We have our T2 animal weapon. Tier 2, I mean. Now we can take on the quest of the T3 weapon. So it says dream fulfilled with the hyperconductive. Oh, that's actually my bard one. Okay. Let's see here. So after toughening up, you get the T3 quest. Is coming into its own. You choose to take the quest as your current class or the class you want to, and you will get, after completing this quest, an I210 relic weapon. You get presented with the cutscene. I'm gonna tell you guys right now the story on the relic weapon is pretty cool. I mean, it is a project for you to do when you don't have anything else to do. I mean, you can also choose not to do the relic quest and just farm the Sophia weapons and then go for the scripture weapons. But this is actually a project that you can do in your spare time.
Isn't the name of the quest like you have no life or something?
Yeah, no soul, no life. The to get the first quest, which is the tier 1. So for the tier 3 quest, what it says is with the Archiclair Awoken and Pritwin Awoken equipped in your inventory, speak with Kristana in Revenant's Toll. So we're gonna go there fairly quickly now, or as is known throughout the players over the years, more donuts. So after you zone in, you go north up to that new building where Rowena is, and she's gonna be to the left, first door on the left as you enter the hall. And there she is. So you talk to this NPC, Christiana, and she will require items from you to exchange for what you need. To exchange for what you need to continue the quest. So she's gonna need 4 adamantite Franciscus and 10 unidentifiable bone, 4 titanium alloy mirrors with 10 unidentifiable shells, and 10 identifiable ores for dispelling arrows, and lastly 10 identifiable seeds with 4 king cakes. You will switch each group of items for enchanted rubber, fast drying carbon coat, divine water, and fast acting elegant catalyst. Now, to obtain the items on their list, first you have a couple ways. So to get the titanium alloy and the Francisca, you go to your grand company. Well, or you pull your bird. It's up to you.
Did you say you pulled a bird?
Yeah, because I actually summoned my bird instead of teleporting.
Really?
So my grand company is in Limsalamins in the lower decks. You go out to the grand company. So the first way you have to obtain the items that are required to advance on this stage, you go to your grand company here. And you go speak with the NPC that's at the counter. Excuse me, the quartermaster. Once you get here, you go to Storm Captain material, and below here on the list right here, you have King Cake, Titanium Alloy, Adamantite Francisca, and Dispelling Air. Now you need 5,000 Grand Company seals per each one. So it's going to be four of each is going to be 20,000. So you're going to have to spend 80,000 Grand Company seals, which you have several ways. You can go to the Storm Personnel Officer here, provisioning, and do expert delivery. So basically, you go dungeon crawling and you turn any piece of armor that you roll and get for seals. This is a fairly quick way to obtain these materials for this,
Sorry.
bless you, for this phase. But there's another way. You can go to a market board anywhere. For example's sake, let's go to Akers Alley here on Limbs Laminza. And if you go and put the spelling, wait, let's go with arrow. Kind of suck at typing. Okay, as you can see, you can also buy it if you have the money. On the case of the dispelling arrow, it's 41k a pop, so it'll be around 165,000 per stack of 4 to get your relic weapon going. I did it with the Grand Company seals because I do a lot of dungeons, so it's fairly quick for me. But those are the two ways that you have to get those materials. Now, for the other half, you will have to go to Idleshire. Just takes a little bit longer to zone in on Idleshire because everybody is there. Even if it's, fairly early to be peak time, there's a lot of people in Idleshire at all times. So once you zone in on Idleshire, you head over to Rowena's Center for Cultural Promotion. And you head to Ismena, which is the middle NPC that handles Tombstones of Lore and Tombstones of Scripture trade. You hit Tombstones of Lore Other, and on the list, you will have unidentifiable bone, shell, ore, and seeds. Each one of them costs 300 lore tomes to get. As you can see right here, I already have the materials required. So you need 10 of each. See, I have 10, 10, 12, and 10. So there's a couple ways you can achieve this. You can do hunts. If you're in a hunt link shell doing hunts all day, it's actually fairly quick. There's a couple of players that have 5 and 6 relic weapons at this point for doing hunts all day. Or you can dungeon crawl, which if you decide to get the alloy through drops, well, in this case you can't because the best dungeon to do to farm for lore tomes is the Chemical Research Facility, or ARF. Each run gives you around 150 tomestones of lore. If you do this combined with the expert and level 60 dungeons, you get around 600, 700 lore, and by doing Duty Roulette Expert and Duty Roulette level 60. I recommend doing all the roulettes up until leveling. They're fairly quick and easy. You can even be lucky and get the RAF dungeon on your level 60 dungeon roulettes. So after you complete all of this, which will take you some time, not much because nothing is restricted at this point. But after you complete all this, you go back to Azaz's Law. You go back to that character, Christiana. You trade in for the items that that Geralt required of you, and then you go back to Az's Law to turn in the quest. Oh, okay. I am asleep. But it's
What?
fine.
Did you get slept? Is that what you said?
No, no. So I was telling you, after acquiring all the materials, you need to go exchange them, which I did not. So you acquire all the materials, you go back to Mordona, you saw nothing.
I saw that.
Go back to Mordona. You head to that NPC Cristiano, which is right on the left side as you get in the building. Once you're here, you trade your materials for one of each. As you can see, it takes 10 of the identifiable materials and 4 of the Grand Company materials or market board. That will be your preference. Once this is accomplished, you head back to Helix or Azazla and turn in the materials to Geralt. This will get you the eye level 210 Anima weapon. You'll hand over the weapon and the shield plus the materials you acquired. That will get you your 210 weapon. A 210 weapon, and you're presented with a short cutscene. Oh, that looks good, right? Paladin weapon's pretty cool. And that's our T3 weapon, which we get an achievement for it. And now for the tier 4 relic weapon. Once again, you take a quest. Now this time, your weapon when you finish the quest will be at level 230. It will have hyperconductive in front of the name of your weapon. And for this phase, it can be long or it can be short depending on your availability. Now the good thing about this quest is it's not just for hardcore members. This is for casual players as well. So for this quest, what you need to do is gather 5 aether oils. You have two ways of doing this. The first one is in Mordona. Unfortunately, the Mordona way takes you 5 weeks to complete. Because to complete and acquire the 5 aether oils, you have to do 5 weeklies. Which the weekly you obtain here on this NPC, Ko Ravnata, which is he gives you the gift of the archmages that I have over here, and requires you to complete the crystal towers. You have to do Labyrinth of the Ancients, Circuitous Tower, and World of Darkness. After completion and you turn into quests, you get Aether Oil right here, Elegant Catalyst, and you can pick between these three. Now the important part is, on this weekly, you will get an Ether Oil, I mean. Or you can grind 4 Tombstones of Lore and buy them in Idleshire. Which, if you're a dungeon crawler and you like doing dungeons and you're bored, or that's basically your thing, grinding for lore, because nowadays in this game you need lore for pretty much everything. You can acquire these oils over here. You go back to Ruina's center of in Idleshire. Once again, you go to his mana, and on the Elegant Tombstones of Lore Other, you see that Aether Oil is right here. You need 5 of them. As you can see, I already have them. But you can buy each one for about 1800 lore. Which a good idea to do it. A good idea to gather that lore quickly is to go to the level 60 dungeon at Chemical Research Facility, RAF. A lot of people do it even as a DPS. You'll get fairly quick queue times because people are doing it right now, especially because the new tier came out on this last patch. So once you acquire the oil, you go back to Azizla or Helix, and you turn in the oil. And you go turn in the oil, not in this case to Ardashir, which is the little boy, or the little guy that's besides Geralt. Once again, presented with a small cutscene. You have to hand over. You have to have the weapons, your weapon, in the shield, or in the case of the other classes, just your weapon on your inventory. You hand over the weapons and the material necessary, and you're presented with another cutscene. Now, if you don't want me to spoil it for you, I would advise skipping ahead a minute. There you have it, folks. I level 230 hyperconductive weapon, the Anima. This is when you get your fourth tier Anima weapon. Now, folks, here's what happens here. If you already started a relic weapon like I did on my bard, you have to finish that weapon in order to continue with the other classes. Actually, or what you do here, you can do that, or you can reset your progress for, in my case, the bard weapon, and restart it as a paladin in my case. So when you finish this, you will have a eye level 240 weapon. You accept the quest, you get presented with the cutscene. Now, for this stage, you need to equip your weapons. And you need to head to Idleshire. Once you arrive here, the NPC you're looking for is in the way to Ruina Center, but instead of getting into Ruina Center on this door over here to the left. You head to the right. Well, that's an awesome carbuncle. Look at that. Solid white carbuncle.
Wow, it's gorgeous. You know, if they had those like in real life, I would totally have one. Just so you know, I still want the stuffed one from the Square Enix store, but hey.
So Ulan can see your anima weapon, whereas no one else can except for you. So for the paladin weapon, we have critical hit rate, accuracy, determination, parry, and skill speed. You can review the items to be exchanged for crystal sand at any time by accessing Ulan's note in your inventory. Moreover, you can view the progress of your anima weapon at any time by accessing the anima's glass in your inventory. So, foster the anima's growth. So you need to treat the sand. You need crystal sand and umbrite. So to obtain those two ingredients, the first one, umbrite, you can buy over here on his mana under the tombstones of lore other. It's 300 lore a piece, and you're gonna need 80 of them. So let's buy one. I make 7. Now, if you go to your key items and you look at the note, this is the list of ways to possibly get crystal sand. You can get blue crafter's tomes or script. You can achieve this through crafting, Garland steel, Celestine, high elegant chimera leather will make one crystal sand. You're gonna need 80 crystal sands and 80 umbrites, and every time you join one of those together, you'll get 3 attribute points for a total of 240. So each of the items you put on your, each of the mixes, crystal sand with umbrite that you put in a weapon, it'll give you 3 points, which means you will need 80 crystal sands and 80 umbrites to fulfill the full 240 attribute points that you can allocate on your weapon. So the ways to get the crystal sand before I actually wander off, so you can craft it. You can obtain this by doing lever meats from Ishgard, fire materia for, wind materia, and lightning materia for. You can get that from how do you call it? From converting your old pieces of gear into materia. Moonstones. You get moonstones from your grand company, wherever it is. It depends on each one of you. And 5 of them correspond to 1 crystal sand. So I have 33 right now. Which will give me a total of 6 crystal sands. Now the primal, you can do it with primal pieces. So you can get Ifrits, Titan, and Shiva. 6 of each. 1 of each will give you 1 crystal sand. Or you can get 1 of Garuda, Leviathan, and Ramo. 1 of each, 3 in total, will give you a crystal sand. Now, this is available for purchase on the market board. So if you have the money to spare, you can do it like that. Now, this here, Manaki, the Manaki coin, and so 2 Manaki coins and 2 elegant catalysts. You can obtain this from doing Crystal Tower, Circus Tower, and this one from doing Weeping City. The Superior Enchanted Ink and the Tavnarian Mist, you can actually buy this in Mordona. I will show you where. That's how I'm doing it. And you can buy it with lore. So basically, for this part, this is where I am right now. And still trying to get my tier 5 weapon. Basically, everything you do that gets you lore, do it. I'm talking about dungeons, roulettes, primals, whatever you need to do, any way you can. Do not I would not concentrate in one single form of tombstone grinding or grand company grinding. You should use all of the ways to get you there faster. You can see here, Tevnarian Mist and Superior Enchanted Ink. You will have, if you do it this way, you are going to need 400 of each to get 80 crystal sands. And I'm not even halfway there, but I'm working on it. And this is where I am on the relic weapon. Now, thoughts about the relic weapon. Like I said, you can strive, you can take 7 weeks to get the Alexandrian gear and get your I-260 weapon through scriptures. You can get the Sophia weapon, which is just fine, and you can remain competitive with other players. Or you can do the relic weapon, the way it is on after the expansion and the second edition of relic weapons. It's not more like something you have to do, but a choice, a project. So this is my pet project. Obviously, I'm gonna get my 260 weapon when I get all the gear, when I get all the Alexandrian gears, but I will keep working on the relic weapon on my off time. And this was my sort of guide, sort of tutorial about the relic weapons. I'm not, you know, well spoken, but you guys let me know how or your relic weapon quest. What is the fastest way that you found to grind for those materials you need for the tier 5 weapon? And let me know. And now I am gonna